Hello and welcome to the second video on the follow-up tutorial. On this tutorial, we're going to be learning how to set up your team. Right. So you may notice that this dashboard looks slightly different from the dashboard in the previous video and also slightly different from your current dashboard, depending on when you're watching this video. I would like to take us through the entire process from beginning to the end, so just stick right with me on this. So let's start from the dashboard. These are the summary cards of your first timers this week. This particular card tells you how many first timers you have this week. This tells you how many first timers have gone through the integration progress. Integration progress was well described in the previous video. So if you would like to learn more about the integration process, kindly watch the previous video on how to set up your follow-up records. This is the number of follow-up contacts that have been completed and the number of those that are overdue. This is the number of first-timers that have gone through your church this month, and this is the number of first-timers that have gone through the entire process. This is the number of first-timers or contacts from the beginning of using this application. This is the number of those that have gone through the integration progress. This is the number of teams that you have. We're going to be talking a little bit about teams as well today. These are smart alerts that tells you how many are overdue, how many are unassigned, and how many have not been touched at all. So quick action, new follow-up, view reports, view contacts. So this is the number of your team. Currently, this particular account has been subscribed for the Teams plan. So you can see that on the Teams plan, you can have as much as 5 teams. So we have created 3 different teams on the Teams plan. The welcome team, which are the ones responsible for welcoming first timers. The hospital visitation team, which is responsible for visiting members in the hospital, and then the pastoral care, the team that is responsible for reaching out to church members. So these different teams have different purposes, and they all also have their different follow-up pages. If you want to add more team, you can add more team here as well. We would also be discussing a bit about teams and their subscription plans when we get to the subscription page. We've already explored the follow-up page. Let's minimize this. We've already explored the follow-up page, how it works, the different contacts in the first video, so we will not be going into that. I'd like to also mention that you can switch between different teams using these toggle buttons here. Pastoral care, hospital visitation, whichever team under your church follow-up, depending on the follow-up teams, whichever team you want to monitor or follow up their processes, you can simply just use this drop down and switch between the different teams. So this is contacts. Contact simply means the number of first timers that have gone through the process and have been saved on that contacts page. Here is where you add your agents. That's your follow-up agents, those that will be working with you in ensuring that members of the church are properly followed up. You can add agents here, add their email address. So agents@church.org. You can decide if this is going to be a follow-up agent or an admin. Say follow-up agent, you can decide which team they should belong to. And you can also send the invites and they will be invited to join. Their name will show up here and the teams that they belong to also will show up here. You can also switch teams, either add them to a new team or change their teams. You can all do that from this page here. All right. Reports gives you all the details of all your first timers based on the different teams. Total contacts under the welcome team, 1 has been completed, as you can see here. 2 are pending, that have not been contacted. None of them have been overdue, that's 3%. based on integration, just because just one contact has gone through the integration process. You can also download the reports based on the categories, the agents, and their status, depending on whichever one you want. You can download as PDF reports or as Excel sheets. All right, so we've been able to explore all the models under the follow-up page. Let's go to the system settings. Under help and support, you can send us an email. We've already covered this aspect in the first video, phone call, or click here to speak to any of the follow-up agents and they'll be there to answer your question at any time. You can also check the frequently asked questions to learn a bit more on how to use the follow-up app, and you will get all the information you need on this page. So this is the subscription page, free plan, the Grow plan, and the Teams plan. Currently, this account is on the Teams plan. You can also downgrade if you don't want to be on the Teams plan. You can click downgrade and you get the warning sign. Are you sure you want to downgrade to the growth plan? Multi-team support to be disabled. Contact limit to be 100. Team members limited to 3. Excess team must be deactivated. Your data will not be deleted. So it just pretty much gives you a warning sign that if you downgrade, you'll most likely lose access to the teams. This is the growth plan. We've already explored this in the first video. Also for the teams, you can add new teams here. You can simply add teams. I'd like you to understand that under the teams plan, you have no, that is under the teams plan. Sorry about the distraction. Under the teams plan, you have unlimited contact and unlimited members. Here you can also see your notifications. Now let's go into settings. Settings is quite interesting. So under the settings page, as we've already explored in the first video, you can change your name, your last name, your email address, name of your church. In notifications, you can decide how you want to be notified when there are changes on your account, either email notification, SMS, depending on what kind of notifications you want as well. Get notified when milestone changes, weekly report summaries. Here, we've already explored this. You can switch between dark mode and light mode. You can also assign permissions to different team members and give them a role. So let's select Sister Grace. She's either going to be a team leader, a follow-up agent, or a global admin. Let's say team leader. Then we assign Sister Grace a role, and she's now the team leader. These are the roles and permissions for the global admin, that of the team leader, and then the follow-up agents for information purposes only. We've already covered how to add new categories to the contacts page. We've also covered how to add next action to the settings. Just a brief reminder. So the time period configuration, action due warning days. So the next action, which has been described fully in the first video, depending on what your church policy on following up first timers are, you can decide how many days is warning time. So for instance, if a first timer joins your church on the first day, are you meant to call them on that first day, that's that Sunday they attended your church, or 3 days later, or 2 days later? So you decide when is the timeline for that so the application will send you a notification or tick warning sign on that contact when the action has gone past its on track days, when it begins to go past this days scheduled. So 3 days after the first timer has joined, you will get a warning sign to call them. Then 5 days after the first timer have joined, if no action has been taken, it will tell you that this particular contact has been overdue for follow-up. You can also add more action types as you wish. You can also disable the default that has been created. This is the integration milestones. You can add more integration milestones. You can also disable the default integration milestones on the application as well. Security is for changing your password only. All right, that is how to set up your team. I hope you have a clear understanding on how to create a team, set up your team, and also learned a bit about the new modifications and updates to the TAMS Follow Up page. This is just going over it again to ensure that we've covered everything. All right, I think that's all. Thank you again for watching this video. And if you have any question to send us, please send us a message under the help and support. You can chat with us easily from the live chats. I would be here waiting on your questions. Thank you very much and have a lovely day.